Yes, people, WhyFootball, and it's February the 1st, which means the January transfer window is officially shut. So I'm here to talk about all of Arsenal's deals during transfer window, what we could have done and what we should have done. And at the end of the day, it's going to be a rant because this transfer window was horrible for Arsenal. One of the worst I've definitely seen in my lifetime. Leave in the comment section down below your thoughts on the transfer window as an Arsenal fan or a football neutral. And if you're new around here, if you enjoy Arsenal content, if you enjoy football content, please consider subscribing on my road to 700 and drop a like down below so this video gets out to more people. So this is going to be mostly like a podcast slash rant. There won't be many images on the screen. As you can see, I've got the incomings and outgoings either side of me. So you know all the players that have come in and left the club. There's a few outgoings I've left out that were just academy players, kind of negligible, but these are the main ones. So there's a lot to talk about, a lot to talk about because over these 30 days or 31 days really of the January transfer window, Arsenal's business has been terrible. And we're here to talk about why. We're here to talk about what we should have done. We're here to talk about who's the problem and who should take the fall for this, and talk about what we need to do moving forward. So let's start, of course, with what we should have identified at the start of this window. This is an unscripted video, by the way. I've not scripted it at all. I'm just going with the thoughts off my head. So it may last for a while. But yeah, so at the start of the window, all Arsenal fans, I think I'm talking for Arsenal fans when I say this, we knew the two positions we needed to address. It was centre midfield and striker. AFCON, of course, we knew was coming. We knew that from the start of the season. We knew that from before the start of the season. So if you look at the players that are going to be leaving, that is Aubameyang, Pepe, Partey and El Neni, and then Omar Rekik if you really count him. So 5 players, but 4 basically squad players that will be integrated. Now at the start of the season, I'm sure Arteta would have realised that Partey will be a starter, Aubameyang will be a starter, and Pepe will be integrated, and El Neni will be a squad player. So 2 definite starters and 2 definite squad players are leaving the club. January comes and those players have left, yet we sign no one to address centre midfield position. 2 centre midfielders have left this football club and we didn't sign anyone. That's the first problem. The second problem is you've got Xhaka's discipline. The man received a red card, so that added to another midfielder that would have not been in the team for those few games in January. And in that time, we've come out of 2 cup competitions, by the way, and hindered our top 4 chances. So in this month alone, January, we've only scored 1 goal and basically taken ourselves out of 2 competitions completely and dramatically decreased our chance of getting top 4 in the one competition we have left, the Premier League. And that's all down to not signing a competent centre midfielder. So that's that. So we knew AFCON from the start of the season, we didn't address that. And then we found out Xhaka got a red card literally like with 2 weeks left. I mean, he got a red card on the 1st of January against Manchester City. You have the whole 30 days. What more can you ask for? It's not like he got a red card a day before the transfer window shut and then we're scratching our heads like, oh, hang on a minute, now we've got to address it. He got it on the 1st of January. Literally the day the transfer window opened, he got a red card. Literally giving you the signs of, it's on a plate saying, sign a centre midfielder. This is the reason. Like, it should be in a light bulb moment from the board if they hadn't received it already. So yeah, that's just really disappointing how we didn't address that. The second position, of course, is striker. Now, Aubameyang had been out the team. He wasn't firing, let's be honest. But other than that, he had discipline issues and he was going to AFCON anyway. Nketiah, not signing a contract, looks to be leaving, yet still playing games. Balogun has signed a contract, but clearly not quite ready to be starting for the Premier League. So our only striker is Alex Lacazette. He's the only striker we have, competent striker, that we can rely on at this football club. Now, for me, Alex Lacazette is a good striker, but for me, he's not a top striker if you want to get top 4. He doesn't score enough goals. His hold-up play is good, and he's got some good elements to his game, but for me, he's still a impact player off the bench. We should not be starting him if we want to get top 4 consistently. His backup, Eddie Nketiah, is the only other striker we have at the club right now. And Eddie Nketiah, for me, is not at it for Arsenal. I'm sorry. I said it from before. He's a really good goal poacher, but that's not enough if you want to play for Arsenal. I'm sorry. If you want to play for a team like Newcastle or something, or Southampton, yeah, you can be a goal poacher. But not for Arsenal. You need to have a more complete game for me, and he does not provide that whatsoever. So to have him as the backup, a player that, let's be honest, is leaving for free in the summer, it's not good enough by any means. We need to address striker. Now, of course, we were looking at someone like Vlahovic. We must have got some kind of inclination that we were going to go for him, considering that we spent literally the whole January chasing him, basically. The first 25 days or so, it was all after Vlahovic. Juventus ended up taking him. I don't know what it was. Maybe he didn't want to come to Arsenal. Maybe he did. You have to have a backup plan in that place then. If you're not confident he's coming to Arsenal, you have to have a backup plan. Even if you are confident he's coming to Arsenal, Have a backup plan. Because I'm being honest, what I can see here now, I might be wrong, of course, I don't have inside knowledge of the club. I believe we were chasing Vlahovic for 25 days or so. As soon as he went to Juventus, we thought, oh, hang on a minute. Now we got to sign a striker, but who else? Then we looked around, and the only players available were players that were going to cost so much money because it was deadline day, and we decided, let's not buy anyone. And if that's the case, that is really poor management from the board. Edu Gaspar especially, man. Like, I praised him in the summer for getting it right, but it's only one window out of two right now, because this January transfer window, this was so important. This was one of the most important transfer windows in our club's history, just for the sake that we can sign some players to boost our chances to get in top four. Like, the past two seasons under Arteta and Emery, the season was a write-off by January, let's be real. Let's be real, the seasons were write-off. This season, we can push to that top four. We definitely can. We're in and amongst it. So we needed just a couple. I'm not asking for £80 million players. I'm just asking for two players, a striker and centre midfielder, both a starter in each, maybe £50 million on each one, combined for about 90 to 100 million, and we would be in a good place. That's all I asked for. Drop 60 M's on the striker and about 30 to 40 M's on the midfielder, and we would all been happy. No Arsenal fan will be annoyed with that. Yet we've gone out and we've signed no one. Okay, yes, I've got the incomings to the left of me. Austin Trusty, Matt Turner, Lino Souza. Who are they, man? Let's be real, who are they? This Souza guy's a 17-year-old who's going to go to the academy from West Brom. Both Austin Trusty and Matt Turner are MLS players. Major League Soccer, the American League. They don't even call it football, they call it soccer when we're signing them. Matt Turner's coming in the summer, he's a goalkeeper. Yeah, whatever. I mean, at the end of the day, we didn't really need a goalkeeper. Leno and Aaron Ramsey, they're probably them two are really good goalkeepers, so we've got the deepest. Out of all positions, that's the one that we're well covered in. Austin Trusty, of course, the centre-back. I don't know why. Saliba's literally coming back in the summer. This geezer's coming in the summer as well. So what? Is Saliba going to go out on loan again? Is he going to go out on loan? Is this just literally money laundering for Stan Kroenke, it seems like? Who knows, man? Because at the end of the day, this has just been terrible business. The incomings are awful. The outgoings, though, that's something else. This has really annoyed me because, yes, we've got rid of some dead players, some deadwoods. I agree. But they've all gone for free. We have not made a cent on the 13 players we have got rid of this January transfer window. We've got rid of 13 players. We've sold 3 and the rest have been loans. We have not made a cent. Not made a single penny. The only thing we've saved is the wage bill. Aubameyang, we got rid of for free. That one I kind of understand. I mean, for me, you can get 10 million for Aubameyang, let's be real. But he went to Barcelona, them lot are broke. I don't know why they signed him, to be honest. Either way he went, we saved a lot of money on the wage bill, so I'll take that for Aubameyang. Chambers, on the other hand, the geezer's a versatile player. I actually don't mind Chambers. If you're going to get rid of him, at least get some money for him. And to be honest, he's on like 40k a week. What do? We save like, I don't know, less than £1 million over the year. Brother, you make back £1 million in one match day. Would it really be that bad to keep Chambers around considering we don't even have that much depth? The guy can play CDM, centre-back, right-back. He can do a job at left-back if you want him to. Like, he's got some versatility. We could have kept Chambers. Like, if you're going to get rid of him, I have no problems getting rid of him. But at least sell him. Like, make some money. I'm sorry, Edu Gaspar. Getting rid of Chambers and Kolasinac for free, etc. does not make you a good negotiator. You're Mr. Contract Termination. That doesn't mean you're doing a good job just because you terminate contracts. You could have got some money for Chambers, to be honest. I'm not against getting rid of him. That's not my point. My point is get rid of him for something like involves money. Get some money in the door. Don't just get rid of him for the sake of it. I feel like we're buying players for money and getting rid of them for free. That's what it feels like at this football club. I can't remember the last time we had some good business selling a footballer. It was Alex Iwobi for 35 million and then Chamberlain before that. That's the last 2 times I remember us actually selling a player and think, we got good money for this player. Every other time we're getting rid of them for free, contract terminating, send them out on loan. Just bum deals all the way around and we're getting fisted every time. The other players, Maitland-Niles, of course, we got rid of on loan. We needed a midfielder. We literally need a midfielder. If you're not going to sign someone, at least keep Maitland-Niles. Like, you could have got rid of him on deadline day, let's be real. Roma were pursuing him the whole window. You didn't have to get rid of him so early. Like, you didn't have to get rid of him on like the 7th of January or something. We could have used Maitland-Niles in the Carabao Cup game and in the FA Cup game and even the Premier League against Burnley should we have needed to. He could have been used there. Why did you get rid of him so early? Like, he's a competent midfielder, Maitland-Niles. Of course, he wanted to go, fine. But at the end of the day, you're the football club. You make the decision. The player can't make the decision for the football club. Just because Maitland-Niles wants to go, you don't say, all right, fine, you're going. You say, no, you're staying for 3 more games or so, and then we'll let you go towards the end of the window when we've got our midfielders back from AFCON and red card suspensions, etc. You don't just go, he wants to go, all right, fine, Maitland-Niles, you can go to Roma, pack your bags. Like, come on, move like a club, man. The club should have authority over the player, not the other way around. Balogun's gone out on loan. That was a good deal for me because he actually needed to go, let's be honest. He clearly wasn't ready for the Premier League yet, and he's going to Middlesbrough, and he's already got an assist, to be fair to him. So well done. And Pablo Mari's gone out on loan. For me, just get rid, man. Sell him. Don't do this loan deal business. Why are we always loaning out these players, man? Pablo Mari, he has to go. He's not happy here, and when Saliba comes back, there's no place for him in this side. But yeah, that's the main players that we've got rid of. Of course, there's some others like Harry Clark, I believe, etc., that we've sent out on loan. But yeah, they're just academy players, so I'm not really going to touch on them. What I've got on the screen right now is the important business that Arsenal have done this window. So, let's talk about the fact that we didn't sign a centre midfielder and we didn't sign a striker. So who is to blame? For me, it's the negotiation board. Edu Gaspar, he's head of it. Arteta has to share some portion of the blame as well, though. For me, the whole Arsenal board is on the ropes. Kroenke, etc., Josh, Stan, I don't care who. You're to blame as well. The whole Arsenal board have got blood on their hands for this because, like I said before, this is one of the most important transfer windows, especially for me, like in my lifetime. This transfer window could have been the reason we get top 4 at the end of this season, or we just get Europa League, Conference League, or maybe even nothing. This window could dictate that, and we have not addressed the positions we needed to address. We've signed 3 players, right? 3 incomings. 2 of them won't come until the summer, and even then I don't think they're good enough. And one of them's a 17-year-old who's going to play for the academy. So we've not signed an actual person that's going to benefit our squad right now. Correct me if I'm wrong, but we have not signed a single player that is going to benefit our squad right now. Every player we have signed will either come in the summer or is for the academy. How is that good enough? Like, we're not Man City to be doing that. We're not Man City to be saying, all right, you know what, our squad in 11 is good enough. Let's just buy some players for the future. Maybe buy a couple of American players to burst into that market. Get some more American fans on our side. Like, no, man. We need improvements. We've got glaring problems at our club, at our squad. How have you got the audacity to say we don't need to sign any starting players or any squad players? Like, I don't get it, man. Like, what's going through their heads? Do they see this 11 and think they're the Invincibles or something? Because I'm seeing this 11, I'm thinking centre mid needed, striker needed. Like, I'm seeing the problems as they are. I'm seeing the squad on face value. I'm thinking we need someone to put the ball in the back of the net, and we need someone to lock up the midfield next to Thomas Partey. Especially the fact that his discipline is looking a bit shaky now. Xhaka's discipline has been shaky since birth. So, what are we doing? We're playing a risky game, man. A risky game signing no one. Then there's the outgoings. If you don't sign anyone, I get we need to get rid of Deadwood. It's been a problem with this club for a long time. But please, we're getting rid of them at a time when we actually might even need them now. Because, look, we're out of all competitions. But even so, 1 injury to midfield and we're depleted. Lacazette gets injured and we're depleted, man. If Laka gets injured, we're going to have to play a false 9. There's no way Eddie Nketiah starts in the Premier League. For me, if Lacazette gets injured, Martinelli goes up front, Saka right wing, Emil Smith-Rowe left wing, Odegaard cam. That'll have to do. For me, I'd try that anyway, to be honest. Why not play Martinelli with striker, Saka, Emil Smith-Rowe and Odegaard? Why not play that 4? Look, leave in the comments down below if you agree. Because for me, Lacazette, I don't know if his contract extension has really gone through yet. Who knows if he's going to go through or not. But either way, he's not going to be here long term. Why not play that? I mean, false 9 is looking like the future of football. Pep Guardiola's implementing it. Liverpool kind of implementing it now with Diego Jota. It might be the future of football, playing a false 9 rather than having an actual focal striker. The only way you're going to have a focal striker is if that striker is world class, like a Haaland, for example, or maybe Vlahovic has got the potential for that. Robert Lewandowski, Karim Benzema. Unless you're a world class striker, teams are starting to implement false 9s now and just being fluid in attack, passing around, etc. Okay, the other striker that we were looking at, this is a big one, Alexander Isak. Now, for those of you that have been living under a rock, Arsenal fans found out that Isak's Rolls Royce was spotted in London. We're not sure if it was Isak's, but it had the number plate I5AAK. It was a Rolls Royce, and if you go on DVLA, which for those of you outside of England don't know, DVLA is basically a driving agency in London. It's what you have to get assigned to get a driving license. Well, in England, sorry, not just London. And it was registered in January 2022. So this month, or the month that just happened, the car was registered. Now, Arsenal fans all over Twitter were having a frenzy. We were like, Isak's coming to the football club. It's just like Gabriel was a couple seasons ago. And at that point, I was thinking as well, I was like, no way, have we actually gone for Isak here? Now, for me, the problem with this one was, is Isak a good player? I do believe so. I'd like him at the club. The problem is with Spain, all Spanish players have a release clause. It's part of La Liga. It's part of actually Spain's law in general. Everyone should be able to buy out their contract should they need to. Isak's release clause was £75 million. That is a bit steep for him, let's be honest. It's a bit much for Isak. I think around 50 would have been fairer. And it's got to the point where, because it was a deadline day deal, Real Sociedad sat there and said, we can't replace him in time. So if you want him, you pay the release clause. Otherwise, you get out of here. And of course, broke Arsenal were like, we can't really pay the release clause. Because the thing with release clauses, right, is normally transfers done in installments. Now everyone knows about Nicolas Pepe and we signed him in installments, but actually transfer deals are done in installments all the time. It's not just we did that for Pepe. But with release clause, you have to pay the lump sum up front. You can't do an installment thing. You have to go with the money to La Liga's headquarters and say, here's the 75 M's, let us talk to Isak. You can't just go there and go, look, we'll give you 5 million this year, 10 million in a month's time, 20 million the year after. No, it's not like that. You have to come with the 75 million upfront, cold hard cash, and to talk to the player. That's the only way. So that means we'd have to talk to Stan Kroenke, Josh Kroenke, and say, look, sort us out, geezer. And we know they would not be willing to do that. They got Partey's money out of their own pocket. I know that. Well, we know that for a fact, considering that's all the reports have come out. Would they do 75 for Isak? I highly, highly doubt it. But either way, yeah, so that one looked like a deadline day one that we tried to go for as an alternative to Vlahovic. There was also the striker from Espanyol, but I was not sold on him. For me, like I've said before a million times, a striker and goalkeeper are the two positions you don't skimp on. You have to make sure you get that properly right. You cannot, like midfielder, yeah, you can sign like a 20 million midfielder, like a squad player, yeah, because other midfielders can cover his position. Striker, if you have a bad striker, it is obvious. A striker will single-handedly save you. Like, look at Suarez for Liverpool. Suarez's team when Liverpool was there was a terrible team, man. Like, apart from maybe Gerrard, who was aging, Coutinho, who was alright, and Sturridge played well because of Suarez, that team was terrible. But a world-class striker in Luis Suarez sent them on a title charge. A world-class striker and a world-class goalkeeper can elevate your team by so many levels. Like, look at Liverpool as well. Again, when they had Karius, they were doing average. As soon as they brought Alisson in the team, whoa, they were like a brand new team. For me, with the world-class goalkeeper, we don't necessarily have in Ramsdale. I believe he can become world-class. He's not world-class right now, but he's on that trajectory. And we do not have a world-class striker. We don't. Aubameyang from a season or so ago in that FA Cup run, world-class. Now, not so much. Lacazette is not world-class. And Balogun, does he have the potential to? Who knows, man. It's a bit too early to decide. And then Ketia, I don't think he'll ever reach that stage, to be honest with him. So for me, if you're getting a striker, you have to be 100% confident that he's going to be your man for a few seasons to go. Especially because we were signing young playing Isak. Now, if the Arsenal board are confident, you know what? If we sign Isak this winter, he's going to be our striker for 3-4 seasons. You put the money down, you make it happen. Clearly, they weren't confident. And at the end of the day, they didn't go for the deal. It is what it is. All I ask is for transparency with the board now. If they were confident with Vlahovic, they obviously didn't put down enough money to get him, because money talks. I believe if you put down the right contract, the right amount of money, you would have got Vlahovic. I know maybe he didn't want to come, but money does talk at the end of the day. And Fiorentina came out and said that no other team bidded for Vlahovic. Yeah, they might have shown interest, but didn't bid for him. Only Juventus bidded for him. And that shows, to be honest. So yeah, we didn't sign the striker, which for me was even more glaring than centre midfielder. I think centre midfielder for me was priority in between the games of like the potential Tottenham game. Of course, it got called off. The Liverpool game, Burnley game, etc. Nottingham Forest. That's when I was like, we need a midfielder. We need a midfielder. We need a midfielder. Now those games are past. We got Partey and Xhaka back, etc. Then we should have targeted striker as number one priority. We got neither done, and for me, it's just disappointing. I mean, overall, I'm going to wrap up this video now, to be honest, but at the end of the day, this has just been a terrible window all round by Arsenal. I'm going to have to give it a 1 out of 10. A 1 out of 10 because, let's be honest, the only good business we did was getting rid of Aubameyang for free, which isn't even good business because we didn't replace him, and get rid of Kolasinac for free. And maybe Balogun on loan. That was the only good business we did. We raked in zero pounds. We signed a goalkeeper for 7 million plus. So it could be even more add-ons when we didn't even really need a goalkeeper, to be honest. And we signed a centre-back when we've got Saliba coming back for an undisclosed fee. Says it all, really. Terrible transfer window from Arsenal as always. If you're new around, if you enjoy Arsenal football related content, please consider subscribing on my road to 700 and drop a like down below so this video gets out to more people. Leave in the comment section down below your thoughts on Arsenal transfer window. I just hated it, man. And it's annoying because I had a couple videos lined up as well of like considering should we sign someone like Arthur Vlahovic. I had 2 videos lined up, one for Arthur and one for Vlahovic, if we sign them, talking about their strengths, weaknesses and Arsenal fit, which is a bit annoying because it's gone to waste now. especially considering that from last summer my Tomiyasu video did really well when we signed him, and took a lot of time researching into Arthur Vlahovic, because they looked, both of those signings, Arthur especially, looked really close. Vlahovic at a point looked like it could happen. Lots of people tweeting out saying Vlahovic to Arsenal, Vlahovic to Arsenal. I didn't necessarily believe it, but like in the off chance it did happen, I of course have to be prepared. But yeah, at the end of the day, Arsenal signed absolutely no one. It's just terrible from start to finish, and we go again in this season. We just got to keep our games up. We're in one competition now, the Premier League, and we just got to go all out to get Champions League football, man. All out. Will this come to bite us in the bum? Who knows, man. I do think so, but I'm going to remain optimistic and hope we do get Champions League football. But yeah, leave in the comments down below your thoughts on Arsenal transfer window, and if you're enjoy Arsenal football related content, please consider subscribing on my road to 700. Drop a like down below so this video gets out to more people. I've been WhyFootball, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.